Good afternoon from Sacred Space at Titania's Realm. It's 2:35 p.m. on Friday, Shabbat Shalom, the 24th of July 2026. I've just finally sat down. I've been busy all day casting my tooth that I had to beg and fight and carry on like a pork chop for. And a baby tooth that I found. I had one tooth remaining from my children. I don't know what happened to all the others, probably gave them to the tooth fairy, but anyway, I had preserved this one tiny baby tooth which had over the years broken in two, and I managed to glue it together about a week or so ago. So today was a sterling silver casting day, and I cast both teeth successfully. I'm very pleased with myself because I wasn't sure it was going to work out, and I've been so full of trepidation and anxiety I put off doing it for the last 2 months. And today I thought, today is the day to do it, and I'm so glad they've turned out beautiful. And then I went back in and I made another mould in the Delft clay, and I made a little twig which I will solder the baby tooth on top of. And then I will solder that onto the brass crown I made for my knitted fairy King Oberon that I just completed the other day. So I'm making quite fancy embellishments for him, for his crown. And I'm excited about it like a child, and I'm really happy. And I'm happy that the two little, one big ugly gnarly tooth from me and the baby tooth, I'm happy that they turned out well. I still have to go back in and file all the rough edges from the casting and sand them and put them in the tumbler and polish them up, and I still need to solder the components together, but they're made. To all intents and purposes, they're made, and it's just a matter of finishing touches now. But it was such a glorious day today. I thought I'll put the birds outside, that way they're not exposed to the casting fumes from, melting silver and the borax and all the other smells that occur when you melt metal. And so they've had a wonderful time out here with the scrub turkeys. And then I thought, after I finished doing the second casting, which was the twig, which turned out really well, I'm really pleased with it. I went back in and I made a pair of Pegasus earrings. I've probably shown them to you before, in sterling silver, and I'd soldered posts on them, and I'd cut the groove for the earring backs, the little butterfly earring backs. But on one of them I had cut the groove too loose or too wide or too, I don't know what I did wrong, but anyway, the little back kept slipping off. And I'm intending to sell that particular pair of earrings. I thought, well, I can't sell it if it's not perfect and the thing falls off, because whoever buys it the first time they wear it, it's going to go ping, and they'll lose the earring, and they'll think I'm a terrible person selling them substandard shit, Well, it's not substandard, but I just hadn't made it properly. So, I have to go in and make it again. It's got to be perfect. It's got to be worth it. It's got to be, it's got to be happening in a far out way. So that was another job. I did that. And then the little pendant, that I made, the one with the braided surround, I made it ages ago, and it's taken me months to finish it. I finally made the bail. The bail is a thing that holds onto the pendant that you slip the chain through, or you add a jump ring to put the chain through. It's a very important component of a piece of a pendant. Without it, you can't hang things off it. So I went in and I had already made the bail again several weeks ago. And it had just been staring at me all this time. You need to finish me, Mama T. You need to finish me. You need to solder me on. And I kept thinking that I couldn't do it, which is ridiculous. This anxiety, this fear of failure that I live with on a daily basis, it's starting to drive me bonkers, people of Earth, even driving me bonkers by my standards. So I looked at that and I thought, well, there's only one thing to do, and that is to get in there and do it, and if it fails, it fails. I just have to keep doing it till it's right, or ultimately make a whole other one if it completely gets ruined, which has been known to happen. Silversmithing is not easy when you're a beginner or an intermediate, because a lot of times you melt things and you have to start from bloody scratch, and it's an expensive exercise then, because the price of silver and all the emotional and, spiritual energy you've poured into something, only to have to do it all over again. It's crazy making and gives me kind of breakdowns, because even though I fail with monotonous regularity like everyone else, I don't like failure. Anyway, I managed to solder the bail on. I think I'll find out if it's not done properly when it comes to polishing. Sometimes things ping off there, and they seem like they're really, soldered together. Sometimes if there's a loose joint, that's when you lose it and have to start again. So anyway, it's all looking very promising. So even if that pendant doesn't work out, if the bail's not right, which I am worried about actually, I know the earring's right, and the twig is right, and the tooth is right, and the baby tooth is right. But those three things, I need to clean up, because casting you always get a little bit of silver spillage, and it's a fair bit of work, but it's all good. The other funny thing that happened was I brought my bolt cutters outside to cut my tooth off the sprue, and I didn't hold on to it like a goose, and the thing went flying. I thought I'd lost the tooth completely, so I was having an absolute panic attack because the sprue was still on the table, but the tooth was gone. I was like, damn it, I'm going to have to go and make a whole other one, and I worry about, breaking the tooth apart or not being able to complete the job. So anyway, I got out my metal detector. It was quite funny. I discovered that my concrete path leading to the washing line's got must have a lot of rebar holding it together, because you go over that with a metal detector, the whole thing goes beep, 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 even though it's covered in concrete. It's a bit astonishing. But anyway, I went round and round the garden like a mad mama tea bear looking for the tooth. And ultimately, I put out a prayer to St. Anthony as well, even though I'm Jewish, because I've got to cover all bets, people of it. And it's quite comical at times. And I just decided that I was going to give up, and I wasn't going to ever talk to the gods anymore. And St. Anthony's a very bad Catholic saint for letting this Jewish girl down. The fairy had tricksters and had stolen my sterling silver tooth, and I was having a little rant about it to myself when a bit of sunlight just lit up the little tooth. Well, it's not that little, it's this big. Anyway, I found it, and I found it without the metal detector, ironically, after going round and round with that. So it really was trickster spirits trying to make me work for everything. Look at this beautiful rainbow colour across my screen. I don't know if you can see it on the actual video, but I've got a stream of what looks like rainbow light pouring down upon me, which I will take as a blessing and a sign, because I've had a very happy, successful day. Very happy. So happy and successful, in fact, that I'm going to read to you from the Essential Spike Milligan, because I haven't read to you People of Earth for a few days, and I've been in a strange mood and I've been struggling a bit, so I feel good when I've had a good day and everything's flowed perfectly for me. It's a good day is astonishingly marvellous. May there be many, many more. Don't want to tempt or annoy the gods too much, because they can be capricious. But it is what it is. Right, here we go, beautiful people. We're starting on Chapter 4, Hitting Back. And I won't go in and bring all my little bits out in case I lose them again, but if you want to have a look at what I made today, it's all up on Instagram and Facebook, those of you who can access Instagram and Facebook. Right, chapter 4, Hitting Back. I don't know how long this chapter goes for. Let's have a look before we get stuck into it. Probably be a 2-part video, 3-part video, possibly a 3-part video. So I'll read till I get annoyed with myself and stumble over the words. And I just thought I want to be out in the garden enjoying the afternoon with my little birds. Yes, you haven't seen your mother all day, have you? No, she's been a working mother, working on my project. I haven't eaten all day except for 3 biscuits. Very, very naughty. But I was doing so well, I thought if I stopped to eat, I might lose the fly. Sometimes you just got to ride the wave, people of Earth, but like surfing. All right, here we go, babies. A silly verse for kids, 1959. Look at all those monkeys, the ABC. Look at all those monkeys. Look at all those monkeys jumping in their cage. Why don't they all go out to work and earn a decent wage? How can you say such silly things? Are you a son of mine? Imagine monkeys travelling on the Morden Edgware line. But what about the Pekingese? They have an allocation. Don't travel during peak hour, it says on every station. My gosh, you're right, my clever boy. I never thought of that. And so they left the monkey house while an elephant raised his hat. Sometimes it's good for me to read nonsense verse because it helps enliven the creativity and the brain, people of Earth. Is that the girl or the boy turkey eating? The girl. The boys. Don't stop her from eating her food, you mean bird. There's enough for everyone. If you pick on her, I won't feed you anymore. You can starve, you mean bastard. Honestly. It's very dominating. All that bloody testosterone. Needs a cold shower and some electric shock treatment. It's all right. He's buzzed it off and she's back eating. Oh, my darling, it really is terrible that you have to wait till his back's turned before you can feed. Take umbrage at that. Anyway, we'll continue. It's not my umbrage, it's really a scrub turkey existence. It's not my monkey, not my circus, but it's interesting watching all the shenanigans. She doesn't seem to get upset. She just goes with the flow. Lives her best life. The ultimate revenge, people of Earth. Here comes another female turkey. Are you hungry too, my darling? Yes, all right. Now there'll be a fight between this one and that one. Probably a worse fight, 2 females. By the gods. Right, school must be finished. They're playing Don't Worry, Be Happy. Fuck, I hated school. It was pure and inimitable torture. Ah, well. The ABC. 'Twas midnight in the schoolroom and every desk was shut, when suddenly from the alphabet was heard a loud tut-tut. Said A to B, I don't like C. His manners are alack. For all I ever see of C is a semicircular back. I disagree, said D to B. I've never found C so. From where I stand, he seems to be an uncompleted O. C was vexed. I'm trying to do something about my... What shall we do about my rainbow on my left-hand shoulder? It's angels sit on your right shoulder and demons sit on your left. But someone forgot to tell the fairy realm and the sunshine that. Look, it's really quite beautiful. Ah, blessed be from sacred space at Titania's realm. Right, anyway, when the sun is shining prismatic rainbow colours over me, all I can do is be amused by it and enjoy it while it lasts. C was vexed. I'm much perplexed. You criticise my shape. I'm made like that to help spell cat and cow and cool and cape. He's right, said E. Said F. Whoopee. Said G. Ip ip hooray. You're dropping me, roared H to G. Don't do it, please, I pray. Oh, Kookaburra's here and I've got no meat for him. I've got a bit of chicken in the fridge. We'll wait till the end of the poem and then I'll go and get him something. Out of my way, LL said to K. I'll make poor I look ill. I'll make poor I look ill. To stop the stunt, J stood in front, and presto, ill was Jill. You know, said V, that W is twice the age of me, for as a Roman V is 5, I'm half as young as he. X and Y yawned sleepily. Look at the time, they said. Let's all get off to Betty Bye's. They did, then... Or, alternative last verse. X and Y yawned sleepily. Look at the time, they said. They all jumped into Betty Bye's, and the last one in was Z. I like that one better. I'll be back. I just got to get my Kookaburra friend something to eat. Hello, handsome Kookaburra friend. What you doing? You want a treat? You do? Okay, wait a minute. Hold still. Don't get too excited now. Here's the person's nose. Here's some other grotty thing I'm not going to eat. Here's some schmaltz. And here's some... Oh, bugger off, turkeys. You've got your own food. Here's some other something. I don't know what it is. Don't say I don't love you. Yes. Oh, my back's starting to hurt. It's been a day. And let's try and move over so that I can see myself a bit better when I'm reading to you. Not that I stare at myself the whole time, but you know what I mean. It's not going to work, is it? Oh, moderately better. All right, people of Earth, let's rock the Casbah. It's starting to cool down, so I have to bring the birdie boys inside soon. You happy little boy? The Kookaburra's happy. He got a treat. Turkey's pinched it. Oh my goodness. Well, Kookaburra better hurry up because I left enough out there for him anyway. He's just slow on the uptake. Right. A dustbin of Milligan, 1961. Come on in. The fallout is lovely, and the white flag. Come on in. The fallout is lovely. Or they're walking backwards to Aldermaston. Aldermaston marches hear this and tremble in the foundations of your sodden left-wing shoes. At this very moment, if not sooner, the Milligan inter-party, espionage, phone tapping, radio hitting counter-espionage movement has gleaned certain information which should be imparted to you who will shortly march forth, or is it April 10th, for the cause. Are you taking all their chicken? Oh, look, you really are a selfish bird. You really are a mean little bird. He says, I don't care, Mamati. I will survive. Right, go and Cookie-Wall's back's turn or you'll get nothing. Kookaburra doesn't care. Wow. You give because you want to give, not to police who gets the goodies, people of Earth. It's a bit like that with charity, isn't it? You never know what you're gonna get. And if you're made to grovel and beg for it like a fucking pauper with your cap in the hand, like it's been done to me multiple times over the course of history, in the end you just say, fuck it, I'd rather starve and be degraded by dickheads. But anyway, there we go. There's the little other turkey eating the chicken again. Kookaburra, you snooze, you lose. He's staring at me, looking quite perturbed actually. Right. Last night, I gained access to Downing Street by merely not causing a disturbance, appearing to have no desire to live, looking utterly indifferent to South Africa's death toll, and executing several non-U-turns in a U-turn street. Discreetly I crawled on the pavement outside number 10. Looking for something? Said a policeman. Yes, I said. A new government? You won't find it here, sir. This is the old. I stood up. Who did you vote for? I said. Oh, I don't vote, he said. I'm one of the don't knows. I thought I recognised the uniform, said I. Are you inferring, madam? He had bad eyesight as well. I mean, what are you inferring, madam? I am suggesting that there are far too many don't knows. One day the don't knows will get in. And then what will happen? I don't know, he said. Now move along, and he pointed further down. This, dear reader, was only a cover-up while I made my way to the international Russian-controlled phone tapping post at number 7. I was welcomed at this door by a Russian girl athlete who put me in a cubicle. Just listen in on that, she said, pointing to a pair of headphones. It's 10 rubles for 3 minutes. If Mac's on form, you should get some pretty good copy. At last I'd found it, the gossip writer's nirvana, where Tanfield and Ticky exchanged notes, here in this simple gutter in Downing Street. The following is a text of a telephone conversation between the PM and Selwyn Lloyd. Mac. Selwyn? S. Lloyd. Speaking. What are you doing up so early? Mac. I'm worried. Do you hear me? Worried. S. Lloyd. Is that profit tax hurting the book trade? Say the word and I'll take it. Mac. No, no, no. Haven't you heard? They're marching again this Easter. S. Lloyd. Not the older Maston lot. Mac. Yes. The first time, well, we all took it as a joke. Last year there were 10,000 of them. And to make it even more infuriating, they were all orderly. Police were powerless. S. Lloyd. You think that this year? Mac. Bigger than ever? S. Lloyd. Say the word and I'll put a tax on marching. Mac. No, 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 Selwyn, no. I've already been planning an alternative march. I've been training them for the last 3 months. S. Lloyd. How? When? Where? Who? What? Which? Mac. Steady, Selwyn. Don't excite yourself. Remember you're a bachelor. Ah, you remember the John O'Groats to Land's End March? S. Lloyd. Yes, I saw it on the telly. Mac. What may have appeared a simple publicity stunt by Bill Butlin was in fact a heavily disguised training walk by the Young Conservatives. S. Lloyd. Floriat McMillan? Mac. Tar. At this very moment, 10,000 true blue young Tories are encamped in the Vale of Healthy Hampstead, disguised as out-of-season fairground attendants. S. Lloyd. Master. Mac. Tar. I, Harold Macmillan, nay Prime Minister, nay son of Eden, hope to turn the tide by marching in the exact opposite direction. Ow! Why did you bite my toe for, you bitch? She got me too. Oh, they do that from time to time. They think my toes are worms. Well, I do have big feet and long toes, so it's very confusing to a scrub turkey. Things that happen at sacred space, it's just unbelievable, but true. She bit me and then ran like hell. It was a sniper attack from a turkey. Right, I will march all the way by Rolls Royce. S. Lloyd. That should put their shares up. Mac. Following me will be the Atom Bombs for Peace group with the banner, Strontium 90 is good for you, get some today. Small miniature flower-clad A-bombs will be exploded en route to give festive gaiety to the occasion. The bitch is back. That's why I'm looking nervous. Bite me again and you're going to be Christmas stew. She says, I don't care, Mama T. I know you're all talk. And from time to time, young Tory backbenchers will jump into the centre of simulated mushroom clouds with cries of, look, it doesn't hurt at all, and or, come on in, the fallout is lovely. It's a bit like that, isn't it? It's a bit like that. See also COVID epoch, dickheads. Not those of you that were forced into it to keep your jobs. I'm talking about the ones that were willingly co-opted for the sake of moolah. Anyway, just my feelings about all of that. Doesn't have to be your lived reality, but it is very much mine. Whew. Anyway, unfortunately. Who's coming to bite me on the toes now? Don't even think about it, mister. Don't even give me side eye. You ate all the seeds. It's not my fault you ate all the seeds. Not getting any more till tomorrow. Otherwise you just become too codependent. He's giving me reasons why he should have some more. Anyway, S. Lloyd, is that safe? Mac, I'm not sure. Anyhow, we can afford a few Tories. The woods are full of them, eh? S. Lloyd, we must not take the opposition too lightly, though, Mac. There's people among them who think above the waist, even higher. Astonishing. Mac, yes, blast them. S. Lloyd, say the word, Mac, and I'll put a tax on all J.B. Priestleys. Mac, no. You've done enough for England. To get lung cancer now costs 2p more. Well done, Selwyn. At this point, the great British GPO system, working true to its ecstatic form, collapsed. However, we had heard enough, so, friends, don't forget to march in the opposite direction to the you-know-whos. The white flag. What you doing, Cammy? You enjoying the garden? You're enjoying the garden? The white flag. The two great generals and the two great armies faced each other across one great battlefield. The two great generals marched about their two great armies as they faced each other across one great battlefield. One great general said to himself, we can't hold out against this other great army much longer. And the other great general said, we can't hold out against this other army much longer. So the first great general said to one of his great sergeants, hoist a white flag. And the second great general said to his great sergeant, hoist a white flag. Private Fred Lengths was commanded by one great general to haul up the flag. At the same time, Private Norrington Blitt had also been signalled by his general to hoist their white flag. And so the two great armies stood surrendering to each other across the battlefield. It was very quiet, and the two white flags were the only movement seen. 3 days passed, and one great general said, what's happened? As did the other great general. Both great generals were informed that each side had surrendered to the other. Impossible, said the first general. It can't be true, said the second general. My arms are aching, said Private Blitt, as did Private Lengths. How long have they had their flag up? Said the first great general. 3 days, at which time the second great general had asked the same question and received the same answer. Tell 'em we surrendered first. The message was shouted across the great battlefield. No, was the reply. We surrendered first. Neither side wanted to lose the initiative. Stalemate. The two great generals met in a tent in the middle of a field. According to my notes, said the first, our flag went up at 1 minute to 11 on the 1st of April. So did ours, was the reply. But, said the first general, I gave the order to put the white flag up at 11:15, and was met with the same reply. Stalemate too. The first general screwed his eyes up, screwed his knees up, his nose, teeth and ears. Tell you what, my peace flag is whiter than yours. Nonsense, was the furious reply. Hold ours up to the light. Not a stain in sight. We use the Bluenite. Bluenite, guffawed the facing general. My dear fellow, Rinso, the new white Rinso is my answer to you. That's why I say my flag is whiter. The window test, they said simultaneously. In due course, a window was brought against which the two flags were held. Alas, both were of the same degree of white intensity. Stalemate 3. Meantime, the makers of Bluenite and Rinso had heard of the conflict. You aren't going to let that lot get away with it, said the managing director of Bluenite to the first general, at which time, as you can guess, Sir Jim Rinso was inciting the second general. I will prove who surrendered first, he said, as the first great atomic blast exterminated them, in brackets, traditional. Right, the next story is quite a very long one, and as I say, it's cooling down now in the garden. I snuck a bit of a story time in for you, but I've got to get my birdie boys inside. I reckon the fumes will well and truly have been dissipated by now. It's been a few hours, over an hour. There's half an hour, 36 minutes of this video, and some more time elapsed. I reckon it'd be safe to come back inside now. But anyway, have a beautiful day wherever you are in the space time. Don't you look at my flaming toes, bird. Wherever you are in the space-time continuum, I shall protect my toesies. And I'll be back with some more of chapter 4 tomorrow, perhaps later on this evening if I feel so inclined. We'll see how I go, energetically wise. I'm a bit tired now for all my happiness and excitement, but the anxiety, people are there. Anyway, I had some lovely advice from the sand casting group on Facebook, which is owned and administrated by Craig Darla of DIY Castings. And everyone, told me that they were worried about my birds, and I said, no, I don't. That's why I have to wait till tomorrow, because I made the mould last night and posted the mould. And then they critiqued the mould and said that my sprue was too big. So I didn't want to remake the whole mould, so what I did was I just stuck my thumb in it and shortened the sprue and made a bigger thumbprint at the edge of the vent where the silver gets poured in. And anyway, it worked like a treat. But there's still a fair bit of clean up to do, so I keep making too large sprues and they keep saying they have to be smaller, but then my anxiety is always, what if it's not big enough and there's not enough metal going into the mould? So I'll have to overcome that anxiety, because I discovered twice today when I did the first toothy one and then the twiggy one that you don't actually need a huge enormous sprue like I've been doing. Don't know why I thought I needed such a large one. Anyway, so they were right, but I managed to get it to work anyway, so quite proud of myself. So anyway, getting cold now, so we get out of the afternoon coolness and get back indoors and work some more on my pieces that I made today. So Goddess bless. Have a beautiful day, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, and I'll be back soon, no doubt. Bye for now.